Hi there guys, welcome to Box Spread and thank you for tuning in. So it's very last minute, but I want to drop this brief video giving my thoughts on the huge fight that's happening this very evening or the early hours of tomorrow morning, and it's obviously Floyd Mayweather going up against Saul Alvarez. Now, my thoughts on this fight is that Mayweather's going to win this fight by a decision. Now the reason I think that this could get interesting really is for a couple of reasons. Obviously Alvarez has got youth. I think people underestimate Saul Alvarez's hand speed still. I really do. The reason being, I think it's a bit misleading, because whereas you see a lot of guys who look to have fast hands but they're showing a lot of hooks, a lot of wide punches. Now there's nothing wrong with a good hook, but you watch Alvarez, he throws a lot of good straight punches. It's really a forte of his. I really feel he throws really good straight punches. And of course, if you're throwing your punch straight, it's going to take half the time to get to the target than it does if you're pulling around with the hook. So, even if you don't think that Alvarez has as fast hands as the next guy, his technical ability, the way he throws his punches, I personally think is of a good standard, a very high standard. And I think that's something that really does the business for him in fights. And I really do think that those straight punches, make the way he makes his punches get to the target quicker. That's what the type of thing you need against Floyd Mayweather. You need to be able to throw quick straight punches. You need hooks as well, obviously. You need to have a variation of punches. But I just think that this sort of in my opinion, underestimated hand speed of Alvarez, the way he unloads his punches, the technique he uses, I think is underestimated, and I think that that dynamic of his game could make this interesting, and it's one of the weapons that he could use to try and get some success here against Mayweather. Another thing, Canelo, for me, he fights big. I think he's quite a thick-set lad, and he is strong. He just looks strong in the ring. He comes forward and he looks like he's difficult to move. Some fighters, they look a bit flimsy, they look a bit off balance. Canelo, to me, he always looks strong. He always looks like he's hard to move. He looks like a rock coming forward, and he looks like he's comfortable in his stance. He looks like he's steady set, and I think that's why he does get a lot of power from his punches, because I think he's got a lot of leg strength, Canelo. A lot of strength in his legs. That's where his punch power is coming from, along with the technique he throws his punches with. And I really think that gives him power, and I think that's another thing, that can help him in this fight. The fact that he is big, he is strong. I don't think he can be easily bullied by Mayweather, and he'll try and hold his own in there and look to put a bit of pressure on Mayweather. Having said those things. There have been questions put into place on Canelo about his stamina issues, the fact he, even at a young age that he's at, has taken rounds off in the past, has seemed to sort of start off strong and take a round off. He seems to take a round off, nothing happens for a bit, he slows the tempo and then he picks it back up and then he has to slow it again. That type of thing. That's the type of thing that we're looking at in this fight. He needs to, keep the tempo up. He needs to show that he can throw a lot of high volume of punches, perhaps. But then again, is that really the key? It's more quality over quantity. This is something that Mayweather's shown throughout his history of, his career, that it's quantity over it's quality over quantity. Whereas his opponent's throwing a lot more punches, they're not landing as much. And obviously, the more you throw against Mayweather, if you're not throwing, precise punches, if you're not careful and you're not using good technique and you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and even sometimes if you are paying attention to what you're doing, he's countering you. He's making you pay. We're looking at the best fighter in the business here, and that's what makes it so difficult to try and see him losing. I think Canelo could be the biggest test for Mayweather for a good while. I really do. If he's on top of his game. If he brings a good bit of stamina and work rate to the ring, I think we could see a real test here for Mayweather. Canelo could test him, could catch him maybe once or twice and get the crowd behind him. You know, that Mexican crowd, Mexican Independence Day, could get the crowd behind him. People calling for, you know, getting behind him, you know, spurring him on, and then see where he takes it from there. Can he use the crowd to lift himself, to push it through? All in all, though, I think that you know, it's difficult to call against Mayweather. Someone who's never officially been beaten. Someone who I just find it difficult to call against the guy. I can't really say. You know, I do rate Canelo. I think he's got some good attributes. I think he is a very good boxer. I think technically, and like I said, the hand speed I think is underrated. I think I really like the way he throws his punches, and I think that's going to give him a chance in this fight. But at the end of the day, I think Mayweather will be his usual self. He will use his exquisite defence. He will counter. He will look to punish Canelo, and he'll look to show this guy, look, you know, if you're going to come in and try and put pressure on me, there's been, you know, tons of guys tried to do that in the past. It didn't work. You know, personally, I felt coming forward as an offensive fighter, you had a guy like Ricky Hatton was you know, superb at doing that. You know, on the front foot, very pressurising, and he was sublime at that. He was very good. Beat a lot of guys, wore a lot of guys down with it. Didn't work against Mayweather. You know, you think it would, didn't work. Mayweather just had the defence to neutralise it, and then he picked Hatton off as the fight went on. You know, if Alvarez isn't careful, he could tire himself out in the first half of this fight. If he's trying to look for the KO, he's trying to put too much pressure on, he's going to walk into you know, mistakes and errors. He's going to walk into counters off Mayweather. That could be a problem, particularly later in the fight. If he gets tired, Mayweather catches him a couple of counters, you know, could see Canelo hurt. But like I said, Canelo could have a chance to hurt Mayweather. He could have a chance to try and get to him. And we've seen guys like Shane Mosley catch Floyd Mayweather in the exchange. I don't think Mayweather wants to exchange with Canelo in this fight. I think he's going to have to use those typical tactics of defence and counter-attack. He doesn't really want to get caught in a slug match, you know, where you're throwing punches at the same time as the other guy. Because if Canelo catches him, he's got the type of power that can really hurt you. And I think he has to be, you know, Mayweather has to be cautious of that. So they're really my thoughts on this fight. I'm going with Mayweather by decision. I think it could be a very interesting fight. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, Mayweather pulls this off again. I'm not going to be taking it lightly. It's a really good victory. I know Canelo hasn't fought probably the very best people, and some people say he still has stuff to prove. But seeing him fight, you know, I still think he's a very good top class boxer, and I think he would give pretty much all other guys in the division a good, you know, real run for their money. Probably, well, beating a lot of them. So they're my thoughts, guys. Enjoy the fights this evening or tomorrow morning, and you know, just have a good time watching them. I'm going to drop a video now on Lucas Batiste against Danny Garcia, another top fight. So thanks for watching. This is Box Bread. I'm out.